Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. All right. So here we are. We are talking today about why patience is a virtue. So we've all heard this. We've especially heard it as children, and it's probably infuriating to all of you on some level whatsoever, right? Because quite frankly, we can Amazon Prime most things in life, right? So why on earth would we need any patience? Well, there is that age old saying where things that are worth it are worth waiting for. And if you're like me, that is also infuriating. You're like, I just want the thing. I just want to know that the thing is going to work out in order to trust that the thing is going to work out, right? So, this is a really, really great lesson that I have learned over the years, but especially true in my own garden. So, when it comes to this idea of praying or manifesting, right? You ask for something. In the Bible, we're told, ask and you shall receive. But we don't know how long it's going to take for us to receive that thing. We ask for things, and oftentimes we forget that we asked for it, so we ask for it again and again and again and again and again, only to basically be digging the soil out of the garden. So, what does this mean? This means that when you ask for something in a manifestation, you set your intention for it, whatever it may be, you actually have to trust that that thing is going to come to fruition. So, this is a really great exercise for all of us. But what I love to do is talk to people about a garden. Okay. So, when it comes to growing things in the garden, if you start something from seed, there is a period in which you see nothing but dirt after you've put that seed in. It will continue to be dirt for anywhere from 7 to 14 days, typically, depending on how wet you get the soil and how much, how deep the seed is below. If it's a good seed, a bad seed, whatever it is, it's going to take some time for it to actually surface. Now, during that waiting period, once we've stuck the seed in the ground, I still love to go out and look in the garden in hopes that something might pop up like 2 hours later. It's not going to. That's ridiculous, right? But this is how we respond. This is how we typically act when we ask for anything. We want that immediate gratification because it feels so good and it requires no part of our human to trust. I know. Been there, done that, got the t shirt, right? But it's during that trust that we actually solidify that this is the thing that we want, right? Because how many times have you asked for something in a fleeting thought, never given that thing a thought again? But if you got everything that you've asked for, there'd be a lot of crap hanging around your house. A lot of crap hanging around your house because you would have asked for it in a fleeting moment, in a single second. But the things that we really want need to be, anchored in, right? That you need some time for that to percolate, for it to settle, for it to grow, for it to be created. So, I love to tell people, imagine that you are growing this thing in the garden, whatever it is, right? Let's say you're manifesting a private client, or you want more money to come to you in some unknown way, or you're manifesting a soulmate client, a soulmate partner, right? Whatever it is that you are looking to receive, it's going to take some time for you to get there. Okay. For a couple of reasons. One, the current version of you may not be in alignment with that thing that you want. And so there's some work that's going to need to be done, right? This is like saying, okay, I want to manifest $10,000 this month. Okay, cool. Let's put that seed in the ground and let it grow. Now, that seed may take a little bit longer to grow because maybe you're not quite in a space to receive $10,000 in a good way, right? So, you want that seed to grow. So, what do you do with yourself during this seed is in the soil, you can't see it kind of a thing? This is where that trust comes into play. And it's so easy to say it. It is another thing to be able to live in it and actually trust. So, how do I operate? Everybody is different when it comes to this process. But what I love to do is not necessarily busy myself with other things because that's kind of futile. But what I love to do is I will think about the thing that I am focused on first thing in the morning and right before bed. I do that because my conscious mind is in a little bit of a sleepy state and I can get more information to my subconscious. And that's really powerful. Okay. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I will think about it first thing in the morning before my feet hit the ground and also at night right before I go to bed. I will literally think about this thing, give gratitude for it, right? So grateful for whatever it is that I'm calling in. Being grateful for it is a incredible way to call that thing to you faster. Okay, I feel like there should be an asterisk on this one, right? But being really in gratitude, not mentally in gratitude, okay? Because we can all go through the motions of saying things that we're grateful for, but to feel things that we're grateful for is a whole nother level. That's an amplification of our thoughts, right? So when it comes to this thing and this process of trusting, I will think about it before first thing in the morning and at night. And then I spend the rest of the day doing my regular thing, acting as if that thing has come to fruition is key, right? So, not worrying about it, not checking the mailbox to see when that thing's going to show up, not constantly harassing inboxes, whatever it is, but knowing that that thing is coming. That is a huge component in this process because there is some hope there, right? So imagine this, right? I'm doing this example just because it's fun and it popped in my head. So imagine you wrote a list to Santa. You're like, Dear Santa, I want a pink tricycle. Okay. And then you sent that letter off to Santa and you were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait for my pink tricycle on Christmas morning." Like, so excited for the pink tricycle, right? And if you're anything like my kids, you probably will continue to ask your parents and remind them about the pink tricycle. You'll be like, "Oh, I asked Santa for a pink tricycle. I can't wait for the pink tricycle. I'm so excited for the pink tricycle." Like, you will talk about it. You will embody the pink tricycle. You'll think of all of the things you're going to do with the pink tricycle, right? And you can't wait for Christmas Day. You're so excited for Christmas Day because you asked for a pink tricycle, right? Now, the excitement and the joy of said pink tricycle is just going to build and build and build and build and build and build, right? Now, what happens if you don't get said pink tricycle on Christmas Day? Does that mean that you're never going to get it? Nope. That is not what that means at all. It just means that it didn't happen on that particular day. Didn't show up by that day. That's okay. It doesn't mean it's not going to show up, right? So, prime example, my oldest, he has a birthday in February. And there was this laser tag gun thing that he wanted for Christmas several years ago. It was like one of those hot ticket toys, right? And he didn't say anything to us about this hot ticket toy until it was like quadruple the price. And we were like, "We love you. We're not spending that much money on this hot ticket toy." Like, we didn't actually tell him that, right? But whatever. Maybe we did have the conversation. I don't recall. But we did get it for him for his birthday in February. So a couple more months and he got the thing and everybody was happy because we weren't paying quadruple the price that it was because it was no longer a hot ticket toy for Christmas, right? And so this is kind of the beauty of that trusting, right? He asked for it and we are very honest with our children. Listen, like, tell us what you want. We will do the best that we can. We're going to get you at least one or two things. right? That you want for your birthday or Christmas or whatever it is. We won't necessarily get you all of the things because we've got 4 kids, right? But we will definitely have that conversation. So when it comes to this trusting, I loved a mentor. I love this mentor, but a couple of years ago when she was talking about what to do in that trusting process, right? Think about the thing only when you're really excited about the thing because you want to draw in that really great energy associated with that thing. It doesn't want you don't want it to come from a space of lack. Rather, you want it to come from a space of joy and excitement, right? So you put the seed in the ground, you water it, you trust that the water is the thing. That's going to be enough to bring the seed up out of the ground and start it to grow. Okay. Some seeds are going to take a little bit longer, some are going to take a little bit shorter, some of them might not come up. You might need to plant new seeds. Okay. This is part of life. Trusting is the biggest thing that we can teach ourselves. And so it's showing up knowing, okay, this is the thing that I want. I'm capable of it. I'm worthy of it. I'm deserving of it. Let it come through. But so oftentimes we ask for the thing and we see only one possibility as to how that thing's going to get to us. And we narrow in on that one thing and we try to make it happen on our own. And what we do is we actually shut the door to all of the other possibilities of that thing coming to us, right? The pink tricycle. Just because mom and dad didn't get me a pink tricycle doesn't mean that grandma didn't get me a pink tricycle, right? Or just because you didn't receive that private client, you didn't receive a $10,000 from your business doesn't mean that $10,000 can't come to you in another way. You have to be open to the possibility of it coming a different way. But we get so laser focused on it only coming one way that we close ourselves off to any other way. This is closing yourself off to any other kind of receiving. You've got to be open to receive in any of those other ways. And that is part of that trusting process. So, how do I trust? Again, this is going to be very different for everybody, but I trust because I believe that there are certain things that I can do to move myself towards that, whatever it is. And I know that I'm not alone in this. There are a lot of different energies around me. There's a lot of different things in play. There are a lot of things that I cannot explain, right? God cannot explain how things show up. I can't tell you how the world was made. I don't know. I also can't tell you how my car works. But I know that when I push the button and stop my car, it works. I trust that when I push that button, my car is going to turn on. That requires trust. So, what I want you to do is if you're struggling with this idea of waiting and having patience, I want you to think of all of the areas in your life in which you trust blindly, right? You flip on the light switch and you trust that the light's going to turn on. You push the button to the washing machine and you trust the washing machine's going to work, right? You trust that your children are going to fall asleep at night, right? Like there is a lot of trust in our lives, but for some reason, we get laser focused on this one thing and all of a sudden we trust goes out the window. If you're struggling to trust on this thing that you're looking to create, you're going to have a conversation with yourself. Are you not trusting it because it feels too good to be true? Are you not trusting it because you don't feel worthy of it? Are you not trusting it for whatever reason, right? I trust that my garden's going to grow. Did some of my seeds not come up this year? Yep, that's all right. I'm going to go buy some other plants, some other seeds, and get it all in the ground, and it will be fine. My plants are going to grow because I know what it takes to grow a garden. I know I'm going to generate X amount of dollars because I know what it takes to generate that, right? So this is part of knowing yourself, which again, conversation for another day. But when it comes to trusting, I really want you to just take the stress off of it. Have fun with it. How can you make it into a game? Right? My kids are incredible at turning things into a game all the time. It is so much fun to watch them turn things into a game. So, how can you make this thing a game? What can you do to keep the excitement and the joy going and the hope prevailing when it comes to this thing that you've asked for? Be hopeful. Have fun with it. It will all be okay in the end, right? So, I'm sending you lots of love. There were a couple of rabbit trails in here, but that's fine. I know that you got some nuggets out of this, and I would love if you enjoyed this video, if you would like, comment, or share. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am trying to do these lives. The plan is to do these lives on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was a little bit late today because YouTube was doing something weird and asked me a whole bunch of questions beforehand. But I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you have a video, a topic that you would like me to answer, please ask in the comments or reach out to me. I am on Instagram at Stephanie Snyder PhD. Also on TikTok, same thing. You can find me on Facebook, all places. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. And as always, be big, be bold, and be opulent. Bye.